Hi, hello, I'm glad to see you again. Oh, my lens is always so dirty. I feel sorry for my lens, it's like all covered with a welding spatter, but somehow you don't see it in the picture. So I have not made a video in almost like a month or something, but as the year is coming to the end, I decided to give you a little update. Well, for those who care, at least for the channel. But first of all, I wanted to talk about my 12 favorite things that I cannot live without in the shop. Yeah, I've seen other people doing the 12 things videos, so I'm just adopting the title here. These are the 12 things that I cannot live without in the shop. And I'm gonna start with my number one favorite thing, like ever in the shop. And you've probably guessed it already. You see it in pretty much in all of my videos, in the background at least. And it's my beloved wood stove. And I sit here and not anywhere else just because the wood stove is right here and it's just super warm here. That's why I sit here. Makes sounds as well. So this is my beauty. I like it so much. I've built it a few years ago. I use it all the time. I'm so glad I've made this big window here at the door. And you know, it's just the vibe, man, you know, it gives that, you know, rural vibe to my shop. I really like it. However, one thing that I didn't consider when making a wood stove, that the firewood is going to be so freaking expensive. And it's almost as expensive using the wood stove as heating up this place with electricity. But again, it's all about the vibe, man. So my second favorite thing that I cannot live without in the shop is my disc sander, and it's right there. So here is my masterpiece, the beauty. The sandpaper already needs replacing though. I have made it myself some time ago, and if you have not seen the build video, man, get your shit together. It is so crazy, it works so nice with metal, so good with wood. There is no speed control and it takes a lot of time for it to stop spinning once you turn it off. But it's all of the materials that I stick into it. Let me switch it on for you. Nice. A tool like this, with a huge motor like that, it's a bit scary, but I trust this one. So my next favorite thing in the shop is this drill press. I got it as a present from my friend who is an amazing sculptor, and I'm gonna leave a link to his Instagram somewhere here so you can check out his work. He's pretty sick. And before that, I've never used the drill press and I didn't know how useful it's going to be and how much easier it is to drill holes in metal with a drill press than with a hand drill. It's always a lot more precise. You are always gonna go 90 degrees. In pretty much all of my videos you can see me using this drill press, especially if I'm working with metal. So good. So the next thing that I cannot do without is going to be my welder. This welder, it's such a mess. It's so bad. I hate it so much, but I love it at the same time. It was so cheap. It survived a fire and it still works. I definitely want to replace it as soon as I feel like it's going to be wise investing money into the welder. I should have replaced it quite a long time ago, to be honest. But you know, it still does the job and it's fine. And while we talk about welding, another thing that I can absolutely not live without in the shop is this face mask. This is a 3M welding mask. This mask is specially made for welding. It fits so good on your face, like so. It's got this super soft, almost like rubber seal around your face. It seals very good, and the air comes out from the bottom of the mask. And it's super useful because it doesn't make your glasses or your mask foggy like from some other face masks. Even though I have this big ventilation system now, I still wear this mask to protect myself from the fumes that can be made during the welding. I just really like this face mask. It's about 15 euros. It lasts quite a long time and it's very comfy. So if you weld, definitely check out these 3M welding masks. I've lost the count already. Where are we at? So my next absolutely favorite thing is going to be this mini lathe. I've got it quite recently actually. I've made this stand for it with a concrete tabletop, and I just never thought that lathe could be such a fun tool to use. I replaced the motor on it quite recently and I still haven't put everything kinda as I want. I'm already making some little money with it, but it's a lot of fun to use it. I like it so much. If you think whether you should get a lathe or not, I'm gonna tell you that you should. I mean, it's quite an expensive tool. You need to always buy some tooling for it, and you always want to upgrade it, and it's just a really deep rabbit hole, and it's hard to get out of it. So the next thing that is so freaking important to my shop is this vacuum cleaner. I mean, not exactly this vacuum cleaner, it could be any vacuum cleaner, but a shop vac is it's a must. I'm gonna put it this way, it's a must. I connect it to every tool that's got a port for vacuum. I hoover pretty much after every session I have in the shop, and this vacuum was so cheap. I bought it for less than 100 euros and it's so powerful. It's a Karcher WD3, I'm not sure if I say it correctly. The bags for it, it's quite expensive, so I just ordered a bunch of bags from China and they are quite cheap and they work just the same as the original Karcher bags. So if you have a similar vacuum cleaner, just check out some cheap Chinese bags and you're gonna save yourself some of the gold. So, number 8, is it? Damn. Knipex Cobras, 180. I don't know, if somebody would put me on an island and they would tell me that I can only take one tool with me. We're not talking about multi-tools or pocket knives, we're talking about tools. If they would tell me I can only take one tool, I would definitely take these. Actually, I would probably take a handsaw. Anyways, this is definitely the most useful tool ever for me. I have one of those in my car. I have one of those in my toolbox that I use for work. I have one of those right here. I also have the big ones, but this size is it's everything. It just feels in the hand so nice. I don't know how they do it, but the Knipex, they just make the good shit. There is this push button in the middle and you can set it to any size you want. And for undoing some nuts, for plumbing, for holding stuff, for everything, these are the greatest. Love them. 6, 7, 8. Another thing that I just wouldn't be able to survive in a shop without is the Jigsaw. Jigsaw was actually the first power tool that I ever used in my life. I remember that my mother bought me my first Jigsaw. I remember that it was really scary to use it at first, but after some time I just got a hang of it. Yeah, I was just jigsawing everything that I could find. I was making little houses for my pets and stuff. It was fun. If there would be only one saw that I could have in the shop, I would definitely pick a Jigsaw. Circular saw is nice, table saw is nice, miter saw is nice, but the Jigsaw can do all of the jobs those saws can do. Maybe not as precise, maybe not as quick. I have this really nice big Makita Jigsaw. I was just so fed up with my old Jigsaw, it was falling apart. Funny because it's made in Romania. My Romanian subscribers, big love. This one is so nice. There are different modes. There is a fine cut mode and there is a mode that allows you to cut quick and dirty. And this one is very sturdy. It's like rock solid. The base is quite meaty as well. If you are in the market for a Jigsaw, I would definitely recommend you this one. And to change the blade, you just push this and you change the blade. You take the new one, you put inside, and you release this one. And the blade is changed. For my old Jigsaw, I had to get a big screwdriver, stick it inside my Jigsaw, unscrew a screw, replace the blade, and screw the screw back in. And it was just such a nightmare. I'm so glad I had this one. Number 10 are gonna be the Vago connectors. For me, I found that my shop is always work in progress. I always add some wall sockets, some like switches, and I'm always putting on like the new lights. Pretty much every electrical job I need to do in my shop requires some sort of cable attachment. And for that job I found those Vago connectors, and there are a lot of different sizes and the shapes of those connectors, but these orange ones that are 221 with the orange lever like this allow you to connect soft and hard cables, and it also allows you to connect the cables with the different thicknesses, which is quite sick. And it's so freaking quick to use those Vago connectors. It's just a game changer. They are made in Germany, so it's a high quality stuff. The Germans know what they're doing. I use these connectors for all of the electric stuff I do here in the shop. It's so nice. I definitely recommend you to have those in your toolbox. You are gonna find them handy all of the time. I do recommend you to get some of these. So number 11 would be an I can never say this. Angle driver? Angle driver. Just my brain, it just doesn't accept it. Angle grinder. But it's like pretty much the Jigsaw but for metal. There is no much more to add to it. You are never gonna know when you need to cut off a sticking out screw or bolt here or there, when you are gonna need to cut some steel or some aluminum. I have 2 grinders at my welding table. I have 1 cordless one, and I have 2 grinders at work, which makes it 5. I have 5 angle grinders. This one is a very nice Hilti one. This was also a present from a father of my friend, which is, I think, such a cool present, isn't it? But the angle grinder is such a thing that it doesn't need to be expensive. I have literally the cheapest one right here. This one, Black & Decker, it's like 25 euros. It's the cheapest one you can buy. And this one, probably like 100 euros. But it works just as the same as this one. Some nicer grinders have the speed control. I don't really need that. I mean, I need that, but I don't feel like buying another angle grinder. I have enough. So yeah, it's another thing that I would definitely not be able to live without in my shop. And so the last thing that I would not be able to function in my shop would be the calipers. Somehow I ended up having like 4 of those. I have a digital one, which I bought in Lidl for 15 euros, and it works fine. I don't think it's the most precise one, but it's precise enough for most of the stuff that I do. I have this nicer one here with a mechanical dial. It's a little more expensive and it's a little more precise. I use this one when I feel fancy. When I need something quick, I use this one. I also have 2 of the simple ones. This one, I don't really care about it. I use it to scrape stuff on the metal. Let's say I want 20 millimeters, I set it to 20, and then I can just drag it along the flat side of the material, and it's gonna leave a nice mark. It's always good to have a cheap pair of calipers just for scraping stuff. And this one, it's a bit vintage. It was made in USSR, and I kind of stole it from my father. Well, I just took it without asking him. He doesn't need it anyways. Calipers are really good for measuring outside diameter, inside diameter, and just measuring stuff in general. It's like measuring the thickness of the blade, or measuring the diameter of the hole, or measuring the size of the bolt, or checking the thickness of the material that I'm working with. It's like so important for me to have the calipers by hand, and that makes it number 12 from my 12 things that I cannot live without, or rather function without in this shop. So the year is coming to the end. It's been definitely a very tough year for pretty much every one of us. All the stuff that's happening in the world right now, it's definitely reflecting on our lives. Personal stuff, a lot of family stuff, and yeah, this year it was definitely rough. But I'm sure the next year we're all gonna smash it. We are all gonna achieve our goals. We are all gonna have some good time for ourselves, and things are gonna get better. I want to thank you for staying with me this year, for watching my videos, for leaving the likes under the video. My Patreon subscribers, you are the greatest. If you are not the Patreon, come on man, you can always become one by subscribing to my OnlyFans right here. I make pretty much no money from revenue, so Patreon helps me a lot. Thank you again, guys. Actually, in my family, we celebrate the New Year's a lot more than we do Christmas. As the Christmas is past already, I wish you all guys to celebrate the New Year's pretty loud. I want to wish you all guys to have an amazing next year. And I'll see you, as always, in the next video. Next year, probably. Bye!